And we're back to these. So we talk about two realities, and there's the real reality, ultimate reality, and then there's fake reality. And there's a huge argument about fake reality. So ultimate reality, obviously, if you can see it directly once, if you can touch the diamond world, it changes you forever. Usually, the karma of a thing is decided by your motivation. Usually, if you have a good motivation and you try to help somebody, for example, even if you fail, the motivation is the main good karma, okay? So if you try to help people, even if you fail to help them, you succeeded because the motivation is everything, okay? In one case, especially, it's not the motivation, it's the object, okay? The karma comes from the object, and that's emptiness, okay? Anything you do about emptiness is a powerful karma, even if you have a lousy motivation, okay? It's very interesting, okay? Because the object is so holy, the object is so powerful. Even an idiot who tries to do something with emptiness will have a great result. You see what I mean? And it's not so much depending on the motivation. I mean, of course, if you have a good motivation to see emptiness, that's better. But if you see emptiness, it almost doesn't matter what's your motivation. It's the highest karma you can make because of the object, because the object is so holy. You see what I mean? That's ultimate reality. If you can see it for 20 minutes in your life, that's the most important thing you can do in your life. Okay, then you spent your life well. It's kind of a good deal. You can waste your whole life watching Netflix, having fun, and if you just see emptiness for 20 minutes, it was a good strategy. Okay. It's the 20 minutes, okay? In this lifetime, the most important thing you can do is to see emptiness directly, okay? But you can't do it all day. It's extremely expensive karma to see emptiness. It's very expensive karma to sit in a class where they talk about emptiness, okay? And, you know, people worried about how well are you taking care of your kids. You're an extremely good person already if you're here, okay? Okay, if you're here, you can tell everybody, they say, you're kind of stupid. You say, yeah, but I was in the class. Or you're not taking very good care of your kids. Yeah, but I was in the class. If you make it to this class, you are one in a million. Literally, you are one in a million. So try to think about it sometimes. When you feel down about yourself and you feel like you have 10 things to confess and no things to rejoice, that happens to me. Like the confession goes on and on and on, and then I'm like, let's do rejoicing. I'm like, I can't think of anything. You're here, okay? If you're here, you must have some extraordinary karma. You are one in a million. And I mean literally you are one in a million, okay? For every person who's here, there's 999 who are not here. You are special. To be a bad person in this room is better than being a good person somewhere else. Okay? All right. Okay? So that's just the power of emptiness, and it doesn't so much depend on you. Okay, it's a good deal. Okay, then there's fake reality. Okay, fake reality. So no matter how amazing you are, it's very unusual to spend 20 minutes in ultimate reality ever. Okay, very, very unusual in your whole life. Okay, then the rest of the lifetime. The rest of the 69 years and whatever, 11 months and 29 days and hours and 40 minutes. You live in fake reality. You live in this fake reality, okay? And there's two kinds of fake reality, okay? One is called real fake reality, and one is fake reality, okay? And I wanted to talk about that, okay? And it's specifically with Dharma, okay? The Dharma is, there's real Dharma, and then there's fake Dharma, but the fake Dharma works, okay? There's real Dharma, and then there's fake Dharma, and the fake Dharma works. And if you don't believe so, then please watch The Extraordinary Attorney Woo, Korean soap opera. I'm into Korean soap operas nowadays. I don't know. Even though you know it's fake, you start crying. The actress, she finishes filming and she goes and drinks in the bar or something. But during I know that you can't help but cry. When they finally kiss after 12 episodes. Only Koreans can have an almost kiss for 11 episodes. And then there's a car accident. But it's all fake, but it's very moving. And it changes your behavior for the day. It's fake. It's a fake TV show. But it makes you feel more compassionate and more romantic the whole day, or half a day. That's why you have to watch it twice a day. Something fake can still influence us, and that's the point, okay? Then there's a huge argument in Buddhism. Is there a fake reality? And is there a real fake reality? And they say yes, okay? They say yes. So I wanted to talk about that. I'm working on it in somebody's book. Sometimes, again, I can't remember whose book it was. But here's an example here. By the way, it's called Kunzo Demba. Say Kunzo. Demba. Dundam Demba. Dundam Demba means ultimate reality. It's emptiness, okay? Especially when you see it directly. Dundam Demba, ultimate reality. You can only do that 20 minutes in 10 years. So then the rest of the time you are in Kunzo Demba. Say Kunzo Demba. Which means fake reality, okay? It's not fake because it's not real. It's fake because it fools you. It's deceptive, okay? It's not what it looks like. It looks like it's not coming from you, but it is coming from you. So we call it fake, okay? It's coming from you, that's real. But you don't understand it's coming from you. Even if you sat in this room for year after year, you go to the kitchen and they serve you breakfast and you say, the toast is too hard. And you look at the cook and you're like, actually you should go in the toilet and look in the mirror and say, the toast is too hard. Like that, okay? All bad opinions should be in the toilet. Okay. All meditation also. Okay, so anyway, that's fake reality, and you live in that reality, okay? Then there's times you're eating the toast, which is cooked too hard for you, and you want to blame the cook, and you bite the toast, and you're like, puh. And that means you got the gluten-free toast. That was made for Ellie. And she probably got your gluten-full toast. And, okay, so sometimes there's a fake reality. Got it? You thought it was real toast, and it turned out to be gluten-free toast. And, see what I mean? So that's fake reality. Now, I'll give $100. Well, everybody woke up. Geshe, the best cure for postpartum is $100. Okay, you ready? Why did I put these two books up here? Huh? First of all, you have to raise your hand. Secondly, the box lady has to choose you. Thirdly, you have to say it loud. Okay. Why did I use these 2 pages to talk about fake reality?
They are different pages of the same book.
Nice.
So
one is
fake, and the other is ultimate.
One is real fake reality, and one is fake reality. Got it? Okay. Do you want to know which one is which? The bottom one is the real fake reality, and the top one. Let me make sure. Chloe said, "Huh." Yeah, it is. I checked. It says here. It says Upali. It says Upali. The bottom it says Upali. In fact, it has a picture of Upali on the left side. Okay, the one who started the Vinaya holding custom. Okay. The point is, you can still learn from both books. Okay, you will still learn something from both books, but one is the real one, and one is the. We don't know. We'll probably never know the story. I'm curious. I don't think we'll ever know, but probably, I'm guessing, the story I want to spread is that he wrote the top one 20 years earlier. And then he studied, and then he updated his book, right? So again, later. And he improved it. It's improved a lot. But they are both fake. Why? $100 question. They are both fake. Why? The discussion is who wrote it, right? I'll give you a clue. I just gave you an obvious clue. Koi.
Hi there.
Oh, sorry.
I think because neither of them are the direct perception of emptiness. No.
It's okay. Do you have, Koi, do you have an idea? By the way, I want to thank Vietnam one more time. I tried to raise $1,700 for a stupid little vacuum cleaner, and I couldn't do it. I mean, it was difficult. But you mentioned to the Vietnamese that we need $300,000 for a new volunteer cabin, and they're like, they as a group, they raised half the money already. So thank you. But, can he answer the question? Let's see. What was the question? Yeah, why is it fake? Good. By the way, I'll give you a clue. Okay, it's $25 clue. It looks like we're discussing who wrote it. But?
Okay, my answer is because the real Dharma is when you see the Dharma make you see the emptiness directly. That's a real Dharma, and all the book, all the sutra is a fake Dharma.
That's nice. And now the fake Dharma itself, right? Now we're talking fake Dharma and real fake Dharma. Why is this fake Dharma? Who wrote this book? Wait, you say it because you get the money.
The book's coming from my sis.
Yeah, you wrote the book. Yay, $100. It's fake because it doesn't look like he wrote the book. We're arguing which one did he write first? Did he really write both of them? You know, and then the truth is, you wrote both of them. Okay, so I'll ask you why you wrote two different ones. Okay. All right. Okay, got it? Why is it important to know about fake reality? Then you cannot blame other people for your reality. Okay? You cannot blame other people for your reality. Okay? And if we're talking about coffee meditation, yeah, you can like, somebody says, the sweet rolls in this cafe are unbelievable. And you're like, yeah, oh, I created those. Okay, got it? All right, here's the quotation from Arya Nagarjuna that talks about the two realities, okay? Yeah. By the way, a lot of these teachings came from Nagarjuna, okay? The ultimate source is Nagarjuna, all right? So, it's cool to know this book, Wisdom, okay? If you study a long time and you learn many different things, slowly you will realize they come from Nagarjuna, you know, that a lot of them come from Nagarjuna. By the way, we dedicated one of the 12 translators just to Nagarjuna. He's going to spend the rest of his life doing Nagarjuna, whether he wants to or not. And that's Nick Lashaw. And yeah. And he finished a very important, beautiful book called The 60 Verses. It's called The 60 Verses on Proving Emptiness, okay? And we just finished it. It's 670 pages. And it was mental bloodshed. Like a lot of suffering to finish that book. But he finished it. And now he's on another book by Nagarjuna called Ratnamala, which is the string of jewels, okay? And he's having his next class tomorrow. So if you're interested, by the way, it goes very, very deep tomorrow. If you want to have fun and you're having postpartum, come to Nick's class tomorrow. It starts at 4 p.m. Arizona World Time. Okay. Some people say Paris is the center of the world time. Some people say England, but it's Arizona. Some people say Beijing. Okay. All right. Here's Nagarjuna. When the Buddhas teach the Dharma, they use both realities. These are the deceptive reality of the world and the reality which is ultimate. Okay? So normal people who never heard about anything to do with emptiness, they are living in a real world, okay? But it's fake. Okay? They are living in a real world, but it's fake. Why is it fake? It doesn't look like it's coming from them, but it is coming from them. Therefore, it's artificial. Okay? Got it? Cool? All right. What's that have to do with a prayer that we can help people in prison? We made the prison. Okay? I'm going today to teach at the prison. You know, and well, who made the prison? You made the prison. Okay. I want to show you. Give me 1 second, okay? See if I can find this. I have a sweet picture of this place. Let's see here. Come on. Oh yeah, Tim, I'll send you some pictures. When you're ready, you put them up, okay? Should I send it to you, Tim? Ale? Okay. Sorry. Hang on. Okay. Okay. Tell me when it's ready, you guys. Okay? All right. Let's go to the next. You guys ready with the next picture? Yeah. This relates to the seventh pair of good name. And the seventh pair of good name is that I pray that all the conflict in the world will end. So it's a very nice prayer for us, for nowadays. And what this picture is showing conflict in a family, okay? And it makes me think of two conversations I've had in my life, okay? So I grew up with, I had two friends in third grade. I'm 9 years old, and I had two close friends, and we're still friends, okay? So 61 years later, we are still really, really good friends. And one of the guys is Christian. He's very, very Christian. And I was doing a retreat. I was doing a lay room retreat in Flagstaff in a small cabin. And he wrote me and he said, can I visit you? And I'm like, well, not normally we don't do that. But he said, I don't know, I really want to talk to you about stuff. And so I said, okay, come, you know. And he came, and we had long conversations about we're both into our own religion, and we had long talks from the heart, because we love each other very much. And he listened very carefully to all these ideas about ultimate reality and deceptive. He listened to it carefully. And then he said, you know, I love you, I respect your opinions, but I have a problem with your ideas, you know. And I'm like Geshe, you know. I'm like, you know, and he's like, so according to you then, the reality that I see in the world it's all coming from me. There's nothing that's not coming from me. So obviously, if I meet irritating people at Diamond Mountain, and they do exist here, okay. In fact, we try to collect as many together here as we can to help the students improve. So don't be surprised if you meet a really irritating person here, because we recruit them just for you. So anyway, he said, so I understand this idea that, you know, not just irritating people, but all the people I meet and the whole world is coming from me. And I said, yeah, that's right. And he said, well, what's the goal? Well, what's the purpose to be a Buddhist? You know, what are you trying to do? And I said, if it's coming from you, you can change it into a Buddha paradise. You see what I mean? If you are more careful about the seeds that you plant, then you can change this world into a paradise yourself. You can be the one who changes this world into paradise. If the pen is correct, then you have power to change this world into a paradise. And he said, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You know, isn't that the goal of don't you want to go to heaven? Or what are you talking about? You know, and he said, when I go to heaven, it's going to be different. And I said, well, how? And he said, I didn't make it. You know, it's there and I did not make it. I'm going to heaven, which I did not make. Somebody else made it. Okay? And I said, well, if it's heaven, who cares? You know, I'm like, if it's heaven, I don't care who made it. Who made this beautiful car? I'll take it. You know, if it's Toyota or Mercedes, I don't care. And then he said he's not stupid, and he has a big, big heart. And he said, if I create a world where I experience suffering, it's paradise, then I won't be aware of the other people who are in pain. And that to me is unacceptable. And I was like, whoa, you know, that's a pretty beautiful idea. I'll say it again. If the world's coming from me, and if the goal of understanding that is to create a perfect world, a mandala, right, a beautiful paradise, then at that time when you reach it, you will only be aware of beauty, you know. And then he said, what about all the other people? That then they don't see paradise, even in the same room. They don't see paradise, but if you see paradise, then what's going to happen to them? And he said, I thought you guys had compassion. I thought you guys care about the other people who are suffering. How can you say your goal is to live in a paradise where no one is suffering? And then what's going to happen to everybody else who's still suffering? How are you going to help them if you can't see them? You know what I mean? If your paradise is perfect and everybody else is having a bad day and you're having a good day in your paradise, how can you be happy in your paradise if other people are not having a paradise? You know? And then I had the same exact, by the way, he's worried that we won't have compassion. That's his, and I thought it was a beautiful thing to say, because I never thought about it. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty good. And then we had a famous debate that I remember. I was in the monastery, I was in the Geshe course. I was almost finished with my Geshe course. And they have a debate examination for the new Geshes, right? And it's very difficult. My class had 60 Geshe, 60 people started in my class, 2 people finished. And it's very difficult. It's really, really difficult. So at the end, you get examined for 3 weeks by every monk in the monastery. 2,000 people, 3,000 people. You get questioned by everyone. And it takes weeks and weeks, you know. And I have a picture, it's cute. I'm like, but then in your college, so there's 12 colleges in my monastery. Each college has about, 50 monks, 100 monks. And those colleges are ancient. Those colleges have been there for 1,000 years. And so in your college, the examination of the Geshe candidate, the debate has to be started by the oldest non-Geshe. Okay? The one who starts the questions for the Geshe candidate has to be the one who's coming up next, like next year. So the senior un-Geshe has to ask the first questions to the Geshe candidate. So the other cool thing is Pabonka Rinpoche, who wrote the Lam Rim that we've been studying for 13, 14 years, which is one of the greatest books in history. He's from my college, okay, which is your college, because you're my students, so you belong to my college. By the way, I don't care if you don't want to. You're automatically, say Gerong College. Yeah, you are Gerong College. If you meet some Tibetan somewhere, monk in the airport, you say, I'm from Gerong. I'm from Gerong College. It's like Arizona College or something. College, okay? Yeah, Rimrock College. So anyway, so I was Pabonka is from my college. He's our most famous graduate of our college. And the third one was taking his Geshe exam. The second one finished his Geshe and died a week later. He was a refugee from the war, and he died suddenly. And then the third one, it was my job to ask the question. I had to give the first question. So I gave that question, 'Cause I said, will there come a time when I live in a paradise? So I'm debating him, and everyone's like, and it's a lot of pressure, because you got Arya Nagarjuna. What's Arya Nagarjuna? The big white guy. He's asking a question, and very strange. Looks like very strange thing. And he's like, will there come a time when we reach paradise? And he said, yes. And then I said, what's the paradise going to be like? And he said, everything perfect, everything will be perfect. Then I remembered my friend's question, my Christian friend's question. I remembered it. And I said, so, when you become a Buddha, what's your job? What do you do? And he said, well, you teach, you take care of people, And I said, who do you take care of? And he said, suffering people. And I said, but you're living in a paradise, there are no suffering people. Where do you find suffering people to teach when you become a Buddha? It seems like a silly thing. It's like you go to law school, and the day you graduate, there's no more court. Right? It's like, why waste the time? If you become Buddha, everyone around you is a beautiful person, then who are you helping? And it got very hot. It got very hot. And then I got Hola So. Hola So means there's a debate master, and he says, Ina. Hola So means next debater. And I'm like, I'm not finished. Pabonka Rinpoche is about to tell me the answer. I've been waiting for 20 years, And he's like, hola So, and he go like this. They'll beat you. You think this is for mantras? I'm like, okay. And I have another teacher, and he was my logic teacher. And he said, come out on the porch. Let's keep going. And it was very cool. So we snuck out on the porch. He's still getting his examination. And like 20 of us move out on the porch. And we kept going, And this teacher became the head of the Tantra College. He is the former head of the Tantra College, which means he's next in line to be for the throne of Tsongkhapa, which is the highest position in our lineage. So he's also from my college, of course. No, wait, he's not from my college. Anyway, he said, come out and let's keep going, And we went for 2-3 hours. We were arguing this thing. Will you ever see an end of conflict? There's the picture, right? Will you ever see the end of conflict? The answer is yes. Does that mean conflict ended in the world? Can you reach the end of poverty? Can you help all the prisoners? Can you achieve the prayers of Medicine Buddha? And then what happens to everybody else? There's this contradiction, okay? And I want you to, we call it in English, we say sit with it. There's a contradiction, okay? If you succeed in Medicine Buddha practice, right, then there will be no prisoners in the world because they'll all be Buddhas, okay? But can there still be prisoners in the world? Okay. Can all those prisoners become tantric co-workers, right? and they don't exist in prison anymore. But can there still be people suffering in the world if the Buddha turned it into paradise already? What do you think? And I mean, where I'm at, okay? To whom? Here's my opinion, okay? After many years of debating and like, here's my opinion. I can reach a place where all the people around me appear as Vajrayogini. I can reach a place like that. But that doesn't mean that they see it that way. Okay, so there could be a close friend of mine with cancer, and I see them as Vajrayogini, but they see themselves as a cancer patient. Okay, but Geshe-la, that means all the suffering in the world wasn't finished. Medicine Buddha's prayers were not completed. And I say, no, they were completed. The prayer worked, okay? There's no more prisoners in my world, okay? But Geshe-la, there's people who still see themselves in prison. No contradiction, it has to be that way. It will be that way. It doesn't mean I'm not in paradise. Or does everybody have to be in paradise before anybody can be in paradise? In my world, everybody will be in paradise. You see what I mean? Geshe-la, so what you're saying is that all the prisoners who look like prisoners now might not be prisoners. I'll say it again. If what you're saying is correct, then all the prisoners who look like prisoners now might not be prisoners. They might be actors. We have a tantric joke in the old Diamond Mountain. There's the movie filming company, they have a department called central casting. And that's where you go to that department when you're making a movie and you say, I need a bad guy. And they say, we got 6 bad guys, and you say, I need one to like kill his mother or something. Oh, we got one of those. And they call Joe, they come, and he comes in and he's like, and it's all movie actors, right? They're from Central Casting. So there's a joke in the old Diamond Mountain that says, why did Central Casting send this guy? There's a Central Casting in the Buddha paradise. And they say, which Buddha look most like a criminal? And they say, oh, you look like pretty much like a criminal. And then the guy in this, oh, there he is, yeah. This is one of our students, by the way, in the prison. He killed somebody. He'll be in the prison for the rest of his life. He cannot get out. He will never get out. He will die in the prison. And we taught him meditation. And he's a very good meditator. And he's doing really, really well. Okay, but maybe he's not a prisoner. Maybe he's from Central Casting. Maybe the film of my life. Maybe they called and they said, we need a big tough guy who looks like he's impossible that he's a Buddha. And then that's what Bhairava's all about, right? Yamantaka, these are all guys from Central Casting. Okay. So anyway, you never know who's who. And that's a very, very healthy attitude for your life, okay? Maybe there's no Buddha in this room. Maybe everybody except Geshe-la is a Buddha. Maybe they let Geshe-la teach so he can learn something. Thank you for that, okay? Okay? We don't know. And the one thing we know is we don't know. So it's safer to assume there might be at least a few Buddhas in the room, and they might look like Sugang or not. Okay, we don't know, okay? By the way, I want to show a Buddha picture. You guys ready? Who's got that? Cat. So the friends from New Jersey, from the karmic Mongolian community who are here, the moms are here. The kids went to have fun. Maria, Dudi, and Sinjurma. They presented a painting. It's got something on the back. Can you read it, Kat? You got your eyeglasses on. Loud.
To Geshe Michael Roach and your students. Thank you for your thoughtful contributions toward our temple upkeep and repairs. We really appreciate all you have done for us. Thank you, the Rashi Gempoling Temple.
So I think it's a big, big blessing. This is the temple where my teacher served for many years. And we'll keep it in our temple here. And we'll show it here. And thank you very much. And thank you for coming, and we hope you come many, many times. Okay, and by the way, I got a call from Rosa. She's in charge of the book press, Diamond Cutter Press. And she goes, Geshe, you made a big mistake. And I'm like, what is it this time? And she said, you did a big advertisement for the Tsongkhapa book, for the temple, to raise money for the Rashi Gempoling Temple in New Jersey. And that book is out of print. So I got all these orders. What do you want me to do? There's no books. Oh. Wow. Well, I said, how about, since we are a book company, why don't we publish them? So we are publishing more copies. And we promised to give all the money to the temple, okay? And she's fighting with Amazon because they want a lot of the profit. And we're having a big Amazon war. So anyway, the temple's gonna get all the income from the new book, okay? So thank you guys. All right. So the seventh prayer is no more war, no more fighting in the world, okay? And let's go to the next one. Tim, how much time I got? 15 minutes, oh my God, okay. Are you gonna do endless things after that, or? Does that include it in my 15 or not? See, I know him. Okay. I'll stop in 7, okay? I'm at a good place, actually, okay? So when I finish, I'll call you up to give thanks to everybody. All right, 555, yeah. 555, Francisco. It's 5.55. Yeah. Yeah, good. Sarvam cha yujate tasya shunyata yasya yujate. Sarvam na yujate tasya shunyam yasya na yujate. There's what do you call? There's a lot of verses in this book, and this is maybe the most famous one, okay? So I thought it's a good place to stop, okay, before we go. And then we'll continue next fall, next October, right? We'll finish this book, and we'll finish Medicine Buddha by the great Fifth Dalai Lama, okay? But this is a really good place to finish this week, okay? Everything is right with anything for which emptiness is right. Nothing is right with anything for which emptiness is not right. This is one of the most famous teachings of Nagarjuna. This is one of the most famous emptiness teachings of all time. And it's a reaction. Okay? It's a reaction. It's an answer to an attack. Okay? And this other guy keeps repeating, if everything's empty, then it doesn't matter. Okay? If everything's empty. People say my life feels empty, you know, or everything feels empty. My family, everything, I feel empty. And then it means meaningless, right? It means things feel empty to me. And then people here in Nagarjuna say everything's empty. And in normal English, it means nothing feels meaningful to me. My life feels empty, you know. It seems depressing when one of the greatest Buddhists of all time says, hey, your life is empty, you're right. And then everybody's like, oh, so my life has no hope, my life has no beauty, my life has no love. And he says, that's not what I mean when I say empty. I don't care what you mean when you say empty. That's not what I mean when I say empty. Empty to me just means it doesn't not come from your seeds. It doesn't not come from your seeds. When you talk about emptiness, you always have to talk in double negative. It's not something. What's it not? It's not coming from my seeds, okay? It's not coming from my seeds. It's a little bit difficult word, not coming from my seeds. But in the end, the meaning is very, very clear. What's dependent origination then? Everything's coming from your seeds. Everything's coming from your seeds. There's a famous expression called the marriage of emptiness and dependent origination. They also got married. I did part of the ceremony. I'm just kidding. The two молодец. Toche same как вам, Nagarjuna так сделал, на стихи. In his verses, he did the same thing. Okay, what's it mean? He married. They had a big wedding. What was the wedding? Dependent origination and emptiness. They had a wedding together. They got married. Okay, they are together. How do you use that in your real life? How do you use that in your real life? How do you use it with someone who's irritating you? We already talked about it, okay? What's the dependent origination? They're coming because you see someone irritating you because you were irritating last week, okay? You started it, all right? If you're gonna blame somebody, blame yourself, okay? On one side, what's the emptiness? You never met an irritating person who wasn't coming from you, okay? And you can go over that again and again. We meet irritating people. I have a prediction. When you have a good class about emptiness, when you talk about emptiness deeply for 6-7 days, okay? The first thing you're gonna do is meet an irritating person in the airport, okay? And you're gonna forget the whole goddamn class, you know? You say, I can't believe they push in front of me in the airport. You know? Where did this stupid person come from? You know? And why we have to build new buildings here all the time? We have to keep all the emptiness which people left here. It's just like luggage. You know how many suitcases we got here? People always leave their extra suitcase. Can you just keep it for 6 months? I'll be back later. And they don't come. Then they always leave their emptiness here also. We got all these, why we have to keep building new buildings? To keep all the emptiness, which people forgot to take to the airport with them. Okay? So they left it at Diamond Mountain. They get to the airport. I predict, okay? It's the blessing of the Dharma that the first thing that happens to you when you get to the airport, you meet an asshole. Okay? And they're gonna push in front of you in the line in the airport, and you say, where does such a stupid person come from? You know? And if you get the blessing of the Buddha, there will be a little voice in your head, from you. Okay? Everybody saying, I want the blessing of the Buddha. That's the blessing of the Buddha. Okay? Those whisper in your ear is the blessing of the Buddha. Last thing, those blessings are around you all day. Those blessings are around you all day. Every time someone says something to you, there's a hidden blessing in there. And everybody's like, Geshe-la, can you teach us Diamond Way? Geshe-la, can you teach us Diamond Way? I'll teach you some Diamond Way. Okay? Everything people say to you in the airport, everything people say to you in the airplane, it's all a message from the Buddha. Okay? But you have to recognize it. Okay? If you feel like that, people say good stuff to you. People say bad stuff to you. People don't even want to talk to you. Everything's a message from the Buddha. That's Diamond Way. That's Diamond Way. Everybody wants bells. I don't know why. Ding, 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 ding. Geshe-la, are you going to wear this special hat? No. That's not Tantra. Tantra's on the airplane when you're going home. Tantra's in the airport. Okay, Tantra's in these cheap little stores with the dirty bathrooms on the way to Tucson. Okay. Right? You've been there, right? Yeah. I mean, there's messages everywhere, okay? And that's Tantra. And take them. Take the messages. They could be good messages. They could be negative messages. But they're all messages. There's this... you want to know Tantra? The first time I taught a group Tantra at Diamond Mountain, they had a homework. And they said, what is it? I said, you go to Tucson tomorrow. We spend 2 or 3 days. We rented a motel. And I said, we're going to go to the shopping mall. And you're going to look for Vajrayogini in the shopping mall. So that was their homework. I said, you got to look for a Buddha. You have to find a Buddha in the shopping mall. So they were like, okay, I can do it, And one of the students, her name is Mercedes, she went to the department store, and she was in the ladies' fashion department, and the lady said something to her like, you should buy this red dress, which is what Vajrayogini liked. That's her color. And the lady said, you should buy a red dress. And so she thought, oh, this is Buddha. And she prostrated 3 times in the department store to the sales lady. She called the police. There's a crazy woman. This crazy woman came to the department store. And it was so much fun. Okay, so, okay? I say she did the right thing. I say you shouldn't hesitate at those moments, okay? Don't hesitate. Go for it. So you spend a little time in the gym. You can ask Medicine Buddha help. All right, Timothy, where are you? Yay.